they asked me like Linux, like doing for loops. I said, for what, bro? The way the guy looked at me, he just got up and walked away. Man, I just felt so disgraced. And because when I went back and looked at it, I was like, oh my God. I was like, what did I just say in this interview, man? And I thought I knew some basic tenets like scripting and stuff. I think I did a while loop. I didn't do like for loop. I think I did a while loop. So the for was like, I was like, for what? And bro, the guy just literally just got up and walked away, man. And then after like, the embarrassment didn't hit me until like when I got home, and then I looked at for loop, and then I was like, oh my God, they probably just think I'm like the dumbest person in the world, bro. Like, and I was applying for a junior Linux admin. I knew like how to do like creating like user profiles, groups, and all that other stuff, like basic permission stuff, file mods and stuff. I knew how to do that stuff. But then from a programming standpoint, like doing like basic scripting, bro, that was something still new to me, man. And that joint was just like, it discouraged me so much. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to Splunk. I'm going to anything different. I'm going to, bro.
I feel like people in IT have one embarrassing, at least one embarrassing story. I have one similar to that.
Okay, what is it?
Oh my God. It was an internship that I had applied for. It was at Burlington Coat Factory.
Okay.
It was in New Jersey. So I took the train out of Philly to New Jersey, like an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I went there and the guy was like, he took me, first of all, he took me into a room.
Yeah.
I was like, I was already panicking because, I've never been on something like this.
Yeah.
He took me to this room and there was a whiteboard in the room.
Yeah.
I saw the whiteboard and I just...
Stop panicking.
I was like, yo, I don't even know what this guy's about to ask me. I'm like, but you know what? I'm going to see it through.
Yeah.
And then he gave me the marker. He pointed to the board. He's like, I need you to write a program that does this. And I looked at him and I was like, are you serious right now? Yo, I'm like, first of all, I just started doing this, but in my mind, a lot of things were just going through. And I was like, you know what? I was like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And he left me in the room.
Yeah.
He left me in the room. I was like, where do I even want to start?
Yeah.
I grabbed the marker. I started writing. I was like, yeah, you don't know this thing, but you know what? I stayed there for like maybe like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was walking back and forth. I was like, what am I going to do with myself?
Yeah.
And after I walked out. I went home. I went home. I was like, and I didn't talk about it for the rest of the day. I've never been so embarrassed in my life because I couldn't say anything to him. Yeah. It's like, yo, what am I going to do? If it's going to be like this, is this really
something you want to get into?
Like something I want to do. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah, man. After that for loop thing for me, man, I researched the hell out of for loops, bro. I did like 30 for loops. I think the next day, bro. I was like, no, ain't no way somebody's gonna ask me how to do for loop again. I don't know how to do it, bro. Man, bro, that was the most embarrassing thing ever, man. My next whiteboard session was the next session I had, which was a whiteboard session when I did an interview, was with AWS. Actually, they were talking about doing like a distributed like app. And then they're talking about load balancers and stuff like that. Fortunately, I studied this time. Same thing. They said, they put me in a room. They said, hey, build a application that's load balanced across, 3 different continents. And how would you interact with the web page, and how would the users be able to, interact with the different databases and doing, geo-distributed. I was like, okay, I've never built that. But then from studying like some of the other concepts, I actually passed. I actually got a job offer from AWS.
Nice.
But bro, like because of that embarrassing story I had the first time,
never again.
I was like, I'm never gonna be caught off guard. And everything I saw in the job description for the AWS job before I even applied, I studied it, bro. Man, I was doing whiteboard sessions, everything crazy. Like, all right, if they ask me this, even though I've never done this at work, I'll make sure I know
how to navigate.
Yeah, man. That's
all this embarrassing. It will humble you.
Yeah,
but it will help. It helps.
Yeah,
I won't lie. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Yeah. So for any of you who've had embarrassing stories, it's common, and there's things that I would say now that I've learned that I tell others to do that I didn't do. I wish I did do, which is practice a lot more before you get into the workspace. Like literally do practice tests, practice exams, build servers, which with AWS and all these other platforms, they give you free tiers, and you can build applications and build different services on top of those before you got to start paying. Back in the day, I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't even know how much I knew
Like
about
you said,
AWS
no.
back then. Yeah, I think I was just thinking. I didn't even know
Uh,
server wise, bro. I didn't even like understand what a server was back
so
then,
how
bro.
did you learn that?
Bro, the way I googled and YouTube, bro. There's a guy named Professor Messer. I watched probably at least 200 hours worth of
Oh
Professor
wow.
Messer videos. I went through A plus, Network plus, Security plus,
Oh wow.
and there's another one that he had. I don't know if you see what I said, but I went through basically all of his trainings.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 4 minute videos, but I could digest it really well
That quick.
because
Yeah.
he broke it up into different like compartmentalized like sections. It just made so much sense,
Okay.
and it was just really easy for me to kind of connect with like how he was teaching. And then he'll give like examples, and he drew really well. So shout out Professor Messer. You don't know who the heck I
You say
am,
you changed his life.
but yeah, you changed my life, man. Him and Eli, the computer guy,
Mm-hmm.
another dope dude. Like the way Eli explained stuff was, he was just like think about this random computer dude that you know that just really knows everything.
Yeah.
Eli was that dude, man. Eli just was whiteboarding stuff, and he just used to talk about like simple concepts like with DNS, like how DNS worked. He talked about like from a security like network mapping, things like that. He just made concepts so easy. And I was like, okay,
Okay.
cider ranges, like those things that for me was like, what the heck is even a cider? Like, why would people even do
Yeah.
ciders? But then for me, as he was explaining those things, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this makes sense now. Because when he put it into like practical terms,
Yeah.
if you have like multiple different computers, how you gonna like
Yeah, connect
label the
them,
range
yeah.
and things like that. So that to me was like, oh, now I understand when he talks about like a network, subnets, things like that. So
Did
those
someone
guys like
point
changed
you
me.
to like these people, or you just found them on your own?
Bro, back in the day there was no chat GPT, there was
Yeah.
none of those
Yeah.
things. So I had to
Yeah.
like I had to Google a lot of that stuff, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to YouTube a lot, and I just finding different folks that worked. And nowadays with a lot of contents out there, you have a lot of the stuff around Splunk, and some of the other
Yeah.
stuff is more Indian,
Yeah.
I guess producers or whatever, or um, engineers that are making these videos. But back then, it wasn't a lot of like um, Indians that were making a lot of the videos. There was a lot of like Americans that were making the videos. So
Okay.
it was easier for me to find content. But right now, if you Google like let's say cloud
Yeah,
servers,
it's a lot.
it's gonna be a lot of Indian
Yeah, it's a
videos.
lot.
So, and I know a lot of folks they struggle with that.
Yeah.
From the accents and things like that,
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's
And
tough.
same thing like if you aren't familiar with like different accents within the continent, it might be harder for you to relate.
Oh, for sure.
But my hope is that we start creating content like that for
Yeah, for other people to be able to
for other
pick up
people to
on.
be able to pick up on.
So I kept on applying.
Yeah.
And then I got another job, another help desk job.
Okay.
And another company.
This was in Philly.
This was in Philly, Five Below. I don't know
Okay.
if you've heard of Five
Yeah,
Below.
yeah. The story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were looking for a POS engineer.
Okay.
I didn't even know what that was.
Wow. Okay.
I had no idea what that was.
Yeah.
I went to the
This was the
interview.
help desk POS.
Yeah.
Engineer? Hold on. So is it a help desk job or a POS engineer?
It was technically it's help desk,
Okay.
but it was a POS engineer. They were
That's
looking for.
crazy.
Yeah, it's help desk.
Yeah.
When I got there, I did an interview. He asked me some computer questions.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, have I worked with POS before?" I was like, "No, but I can learn it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too difficult."
Yeah.
So I didn't even think of anything of it, like if I'll get the job or not. But
Right.
I left the place, and then the lady called me. Was like, "Oh, they liked you.
Yeah.
Will you be willing to take the job?" I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Nice.
So they offered me the position.
Yeah.
I started, and then I started learning about POS.
Yeah.
That's my first experience with ServiceNow, ticketing, and all of that.
Nice.
So it kind of like got me incorporated with some devices that helped me along the way.
Yeah.
And the way the company was set up, our help desk was here.
Yeah.
They had networking beside us,
Okay.
networking department, and then right after that was security department.
Gotcha.
At that time, I knew I wanted to do IT security.
Okay.
I didn't know how I was going to get into it.
Gotcha.
So I was like, okay, while I'm here, I'll
Smart.
talk to
Smart.
other people here,
Yeah.
to figure out like
Yep.
what I need to do.
Yep.
So that's how I got the second job.
Bro, that's so smart, man.
Yeah.
Which is one thing we always tell folks as well, especially a lot of folks who want to get into the cyberspace, or if you want to be a developer, whichever like way you want to translate, or transition to, I should say. If you're on site,